hopefully they spread it out nice and wide.
That's what she said. Welcome to the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast. I'm Chad.
I'm Dale.
We're coming to you Saturday night. Leafs just lost 4-3 in overtime to the Edmonton Oilers. Connor McDavid scored the game winner 47 seconds into overtime. But not all is bad because they do pick up a point and they get 7-8 on this West Coast road trip where they played Calgary twice and Edmonton twice. So 7 of a possible 8 points. They're still in first place. And I think all in all, couldn't ask for anything more.
No, I agree, man. Like, what are you going to do, right? You go out to
Alberta. Would have been nice to get 8 of 8, but
sure. But you go out to Alberta, you beat Calgary twice. They get no points. Calgary, you don't give Calgary any points. 3 straight. You win the first game on Thursday night against Edmonton, and then here we go tonight, kind of back and forth. They didn't look in it, and then all of a sudden they were in it, and then could have went either way. I'll discuss the overtime a little later, but. Anyway, whatever. McDavid had himself a night. His goal in the second period was ridiculous, and overtime, whatever. So yeah, they end up, they got 7 out of 8 points. What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
But let's go back. Let's go back to Thursday first. They won 4-3. A weird game.
Not sure how many more. Is every game going to be 4-3? Because it seems like that's what's going on here.
Yeah, they played a lot of 1-goal games.
Most nights it's been a 1-goal game, and I'm thinking we'll go back to Thursday in a second, but I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, 3-3, let's show something here, like let's prove that, like, okay, like we can win these tight games and whatever. But like anyway, they have been doing that. Tonight it didn't go their way, but what are you going to do? McDavid in overtime, like, what are you going to do? But going back to Thursday, okay, so fucking 10 p.m. start, man, like. Game didn't end until after 12:30. Ridiculous. But so did you didn't see the full game? Did you just catch like the game in 6 or highlights the next day or what?
I recorded the game, so I kind of skimmed through it.
Okay.
Like I didn't sit down and watch the whole game, but I fast forwarded. And it was just to me, it just seemed like penalty after penalty after penalty after penalty.
The refs were on a mission.
Like that's why the game took so long. That's why I didn't watch it. I kept fast forwarding because it was too long a game. Stopping to call and shitty penalties.
Some absolutely atrocious calls. Like some of the calls, I literally couldn't believe it. Especially going the Leafs way. But the Leafs were up in that game 2-0, and then the refs start fucking blowing the whistle on everything, man. Kerfoot took 3 penalties in that game. Maybe some phantom calls, okay?
Yeah, did he take 3 penalties? I know he got called for 3 penalties, but I don't think he took 3 penalties.
Slashing at least twice, and I'm not sure what the other one. Maybe all 3 of them were slashing. I can't remember, but yeah, some not so, maybe one of them was maybe, but like I don't know. Anyway, the refs, to me, the refs let Edmonton back into the game, and it's 2-2 and whatever. But like, okay, at the end of the day. The refs, to me, like Edmonton would not have been in that game without the refs giving them power plays, which let them back into the game. But Nylander, we were talking last podcast about Nylander, like he hadn't scored since the first game.
Yeah, he got 2 in the first game and then nothing since.
That's right.
Until Thursday night.
Yeah, so he scored again tonight too. But yeah, so Nylander scored for the Leafs. Spezza popped one in after they sat him against
they gave him a rest.
Yeah, a little early sign of load management for Spets, which is good. And then he came out the next game like a bat out of hell, and he looked incredible. Got a goal and an assist, man. So Nylander scores, Spezza scores, Simmons scores, and Matthews, and away we go. Like it was 3-3 in the third. Matthews, Leafs get a power play, and Matthews rips it home, and 4-3, and it's all she wrote for Thursday night. Leafs win again, 4 in a row.
Yeah, you're right. The refs basically let Edmonton back into that game, but they found a way to win. They killed off a lot of penalties. They found a way to pull out the 2.
Okay, before we go too much into tonight's game. I think just right off the hop, maybe I'll take this one because I don't know if you saw it or not, but we had a little bit of a situation happen in the Thursday night game. Very impressive. Simmons scored in his third consecutive game at Calgary, Edmonton, and it was not your ordinary goal. It was a very special goal.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Just the Tip.
Perhaps play a little game called Just the Tip, just for a second, just to see how it feels.
So why don't you break this down for us? Because this is the first Simmons tip in a Leaf uniform.
Man, Wayne Simmons scores his first goal in Calgary, scores his second goal in the second game against Calgary, and then here we go with the first game Thursday night in Edmonton. Leafs are on the power play. Mitchie's got a hot rocket coming from the slot, a little deeper than the slot. He's between the slot and the blue line. He just lets her fly. Simmons is just, you can just hear him yelling in front of the net. Shoot it, give it to me, blast it at me. You can just hear him. Wayne Simmons ends up like lifting his right leg, tipping it like between his legs. It was a great shot by Mitch. Simmons, a hard tip between the legs, right between the middle of the legs. What a tip in. His first tip in as a Maple Leaf. Wayne Simmons, gorgeous tip in. I hope there will be many more hard tip ins from Wayne Simmons. That guy knows a thing or two about tipping it in front of the net.
Perhaps play a little game called Just the Tip, just for a second, just to see how it feels.
So after Wayne Simmons completely blew your mind away with a hard tip between the legs, they win the game 4-3.
Mitch Marner came out in like the post game presser, and I don't know if you caught these comments, but he was like, they were talking about that goal, and like Mitch was said, yeah, he's like, Wayne's been saying to me, like, shoot it if I'm in front of the net, like shoot it as hard as you can. Like if it hits me in the leg or the chest, he's like, I don't care. Shoot it as hard as you can. Shoot it right at me. He's like, if it hits me, I'll get the rebound. If I tip it in, perfect. And what Mitch is like, I believe him when he says that. Did you not hear those comments?
I didn't hear that, but yeah. I could totally see Wayne Simmons saying that. Anyway, moving on to tonight, Edmonton, like I said, they came out just flying. They came out looking like a team who was 3-6 and fallen to the bottom of the division in a short season. 56 games. You've already played almost 10. They were flying, and they took an early lead, 1-0. I thought Freddie was unreal from puck drop to the end of the game.
Agree.
He kept them in it. It could have been 3-0 Edmonton. But Edmonton took the lead. Toronto tied it.
Yeah, he made some huge saves, man. Oh. Huge saves. Yeah, he was great. Going into tonight's game, for the first time this season, they're wearing their new third jerseys, the reverse retros. What did you think of those?
I liked them. I thought they looked sharp.
I'm going to tell you, I did not know that where it would normally be white was going to be gray. In the pictures I saw online,
it was white.
I thought it was white. It looked white to me. But apparently not. Did you know it was going to be like I was expecting white? It ends up being gray.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that. I said the same thing when I was watching it tonight. And I thought the gray looked sharp. You know what it reminded me of? They kind of looked like the Toronto team and the old Nintendo game Blades of Steel.
Oh, no doubt, man.
Do you remember that? They had
of course,
the dark blue with a little bit of gray on them. That's what they kind of looked like.
Yep.
So I don't know. When the retro jerseys first came out, I kind of was on the fence. I didn't know.
Same here, man.
I really, really liked them.
I like the blue on blue. I like the blue crest on the blue sweater. The gray, honestly, I could take or leave. I kind of think it would be better white, but it's a different look. So whatever. I thought they're kind of cool. They've grown on me.
The Edmonton ones look really good.
Were they wearing them tonight?
It looked like a retro jersey. That looked like an 80s Oiler jersey.
Yeah, okay, that's true. Yeah, they were wearing the orange pants. They don't usually wear like the orange pants. So that must have been retro shit for them. But anyway, so that was I think they're wearing them that was the first of 4 times they're going to wear those sweaters this season. Yeah, so anyway, going on, so we just want to recap. So they didn't look good in the first.
They didn't look good in the first, and then in the second, they looked like they were coming on a bit. But Edmonton got 2 goals, and it's 3-1. And I'm thinking, I don't know if they're ever going to really wake up and come back. And then, honestly, it was just like, boom, boom, 3-3.
Matthews and Hyman.
Yeah.
After McDavid's ridiculous goal in the second period, walked through fucking everybody. Like that was just a ridiculous. When
he did that like 5 times tonight.
And yeah, like I mean, you're not going to stop that. Like you can't even get mad at that. Like you're not going to stop it. So he walks through. Like I think it was Muzzin, and I forget who the forward was, but anyway, like what are you going to do, McDavid? And just a gorgeous goal in the second, and that was the 3-1 goal. Matthew scores, Hyman scores. It's 3-3. Going into the third, and it's like, okay, here we go. I'm thinking they're not playing their best again, but here we are, 3-3 going into the third, in a position to win again and sweep this whole thing.
Yeah, and they had plenty of chances in the third. Both teams did to take the lead. They both had power plays. Anything could have happened, but it stayed tied. And then in the last, 30 seconds, 15 seconds, Edmonton had the game on their stick. Right in front of the net.
Dude.
Wide open net. Freddie Anderson slides across.
Ridiculous.
And Freddie Anderson steals a point for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Huge save.
Unbelievable.
Man, there was literally 2 seconds left, maybe even less than that. It was right at the end. And yeah, huge save. And I keep forgetting things, but to backtrack again, just quickly before we get to the overtime, going back to the first period, almost right off the hop, puck's going in the net. Lehtinen comes down puts his hand on it, saves that puck. Was going.
I forgot about that.
That puck was going in all day. Ends up being a penalty shot, and Tyler Ennis takes it. Doesn't even he misses the fucking net completely. Doesn't even hit the net.
He kind of fumbled it right before he got to Freddie, and then he missed the net.
But anyway, Lehtinen doesn't make that play.
It's 1-0.
Yeah, and then they probably lose 4-3 in regulation.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe not. But that puck was going in, right? 100%.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, Freddie had no idea where it was, and it was sliding in. Lehtinen jumped on it, put his hand on it in the crease. Like I knew it was a penalty shot the second it happened.
It ended up like he saved them a goal there. Would have been 1-0. Maybe they score there. Maybe they don't get any points. And then Fred doesn't make that save at the end. They don't get any points. So couple things here and there. And whatever. The Leafs had some chances too where they could have. Marner had a great chance and Koskinen made a big save in the third too. So like could have gone either way, I guess. But save. At least look, it would have been nice to get the win, but sneak out of there they got to being down 3-1. They fought back. They got it to overtime. They got a point. Like we said off the top, they got 7 of the 8 points in Alberta. Now they got 4 days off, coming home to play Vancouver 3 times. I mean, they're still sitting at the top of the division. Montreal lost tonight, their first regulation loss of the season. I'm not going to go too hard on them here. Are you?
No, not at all. No, if last week when they headed out to Alberta, someone had said, "Hey, they're going to go 3-0-1," you'd be like, "I'll take it."
Oh, 100%. Of course, take it. Of course.
But anyway, Freddie Anderson makes a huge save. He gets a point. They go to overtime. Nylander had a chance to finish the game off right off the bat. He had a breakaway. Koskinen made a pretty good pad save on him. I thought he was going to deke. He went with the shot. Right back down the other way. Draisaitl, McDavid tips it in.
Yeah. I was making notes already on this before I heard the Hockey Night in Canada guys speaking to it after the game. I don't know did you turn it off right away or did you catch what they were saying post game a little bit?
What were they saying?
Sheldon Keefe decides to go with how much trust does he have in Justin Hall right now? They're starting 3. The 3 guys they started in overtime were Nylander, Tavares, and Hall. And McDavid was on the fucking ice. You're not putting Muzzin out there. You're not putting Bogosian out there. Hall is here. Hey, okay. But really? Hall is your first choice off the bench to defend against fucking Connor McDavid? Like I like a lot of things Hall's been doing here. We talked a lot about that last podcast, but that's kind of a fucking dumb call, is it not?
But 3-on-3 isn't really a time to think about defense. We used to always complain about this with Babcock.
But do you not want your best defender on the ice if McDavid's out there?
Yeah,
if you only have one defenseman on the ice, it's Muzzin, is it not? It's Muzzin or Bogosian.
No, not in overtime.
It is, of course it is. McDavid, man, you're not putting Hall. It's his second year in the league.
Muzzin, not Bogosian. I would put Muzzin, Brody, or Riley. But that's it for me. That's as far as I go. And even with Tavares and Nylander, I probably would have started with Matthews and Marner.
Okay, that's the whole thing. So here's where I'm going to go with this. He puts Tavares, Nylander, and Hall out there. Dave Tippett or whoever's fucking who's coaching Edmonton. I think it's Dave Tippett. He just then can decide who he wants to put out. So he saw they were going with that. He throws McDavid out. If they personally, yeah, I would have went with Matthews, Marner, and Riley. That's who I would have put out there. But if they would have put those three out there, does Tippett counter that with McDavid and Draisaitl, or does he put out checking forwards? Or we will never know that. But
I think no matter what, he's going with McDavid.
Okay, so then in retrospect,
because it's 3-on-3, you're not line matching. You're just trying to win the faceoff. And once you have control of the puck, it doesn't really matter who the fuck's on the ice.
Okay, so let me throw this at you. Do you think Sheldon Keefe was going with, okay, I'm going to put Tavares, Nylander, and Hall out there, expecting that they're going to put McDavid out there, but we're going to get out of the first shift, and then next over the boards for us is going to be Mitch.
Didn't they come on as soon as the goal was scored, or
didn't even get a shift?
They were next up to come out.
Of course, they were next up, but it was too late at that time, because.
But Tavares is a better face-off man than Matthews, and the whole thing is just getting control of the puck. That face-off is so key.
And they had that because he won the draw, and Nylander had a break right away. He didn't score.
Yeah, if Nylander scores, then we look at it a different way, and you say, "What a genius move!" Tavares won the draw. They got control of the puck. They scored, and it's McDavid. It probably doesn't matter who you put out there.
No, but
he probably still would have scored.
To me, you want Matthews out there. I would have. To me, I would have. Okay, I get it. How much better is Tavares in the face-off circle than Matthews? I don't know the numbers personally.
He's not
it can't be that much better.
Insanely, but he's better. But Tavares has been doing it a lot longer too. Right?
No, that's true. And Nylander scored tonight. Tavares hasn't scored Tavares didn't score all week. Matthews is like a bat out of hell. He's been firing. He scored in all 4 games. I don't know how you don't start. I'm sorry. I love a lot of things that Sheldon does. I think this was personally the wrong call. I would have started Mitch and Austin.
Yeah, I definitely would have started Mitch and Austin. They've been your hottest players. Mitch is tied with McDavid for the most points in the league. Matthews is scoring every game. And I definitely, no matter what my forwards are, Justin Hall is not the guy I'm going with.
Not off the top, man. No way.
That really baffles me. Hall's good, and he's been playing really solid, and he did a really good job against McDavid in these 2 games.
Sure, he has. And even in the previous 2 games against Edmonton at home, he did a good job. So,
but in a 3-on-3 situation, I don't know. I just don't think Justin Hall is the guy. He's not super fast. He's not super physical and defensive, and he's not super offensive either.
No, he's just steady. That's kind of it. But
but is that what you want in a 3-on-3 overtime?
No, absolutely.
Steady guy
he would have never he would have never even have seen the ice. If McDavid's out there, maybe I put Muzzin out there to try to have a defensive defenseman back there. But with 5 minutes, we're going for the win here, I'm probably playing Riley and Brody. Those are the 2 guys. That's it. If I'm putting a 3rd guy on the ice, it's probably Muzzin. I just don't get, and I'm a fan of Justin Hall. In that particular situation and scenario, he's not the guy you put on the ice, man. He's just not.
No, but he is not. He is not the guy.
And I'll say this too, Chad. We're not super critical of Keefe here, and I'm not going to jump down a fucking coach when his record is 7-2-1 to start the season, and this is his first full season as head coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs. So, I've got a lot of time for Sheldon Keefe. I think he's the right guy for the job, not jumping down his throat. I like him a lot better than the previous fucking guy in town. We should get to his NBC shit. I saw something the other night that made me want to like throw my TV out the window. But anyway, listen, with Sheldon Keefe, man, like the truth is like this is Hall's real like Hall missed because Babcock was still the coach at the start of last season. Hall was not in the lineup. Oh, what a shocker. He did eventually get in while Babcock was still there, but he didn't really start getting a regular shift and be like in the top 6 until Keefe got. It's still his first full year in the league, like it is Sheldon Keefe. So there's going to be some mistakes. Like I bet you if Keefe, like if Dubas and Keefe are sitting at the hotel right now talking, having a beer or whatever, I guess they're not allowed to do that, but whatever. I'm sure Sheldon would probably be like, oh, I wouldn't have put those 3 guys out there if he could do it again. I don't think if he could do that over, I think he would be like, okay, like I wouldn't do that again. I would make a different decision. Do you know what I think?
It's so tough in 3-on-3 to make the right call, but yeah, I think he definitely probably not put Hall out there. You think he would have known that to start, but
I just, dude, like
whatever.
I can't believe like you got Riley, Brody, Muzzin on the bench.
And it doesn't matter. No matter who he put out on the ice, McDavid was coming.
No matter who I put out there, they're going to start McDavid. And his go-to is like, I'm going to throw Hall out. I've got Riley, Brody, and Muzz on the bench, but Hall's my dude. Maybe
it's one of those things, right? Like you throw a guy a bone, you show a little faith in him. Say, you've been playing well. You go out there. You got this. You can do this.
Okay, and I respect
that. Try to build his confidence. Try to make him a better player than he is today.
Respect that, but probably not the right time for that. But
and it backfired. McDavid scored.
Yeah. If Nylander would have scored, it would have been genius, I guess. But we should probably, before we get too deep here, we should probably hit another Seggy, because this guy, wow.
We're going back to Thursday?
Oh, yeah. We're going back to Thursday.
So Thursday night, it was tied 3-3. And once again, the Toronto Maple Leafs were saved by the stash.
It's all right, 'cause I'm saved by the... It's all right, 'cause I'm saved by the... It's all right, 'cause I'm saved by the...
Stash.
Look, man.
So what happened? What happened?
Oh, my God. Like, little back and forth again on Thursday night. Refs kind of let Edmonton back in, like I said earlier, and all of a sudden Leafs get a power play. And here we go. The puck winds up on the stick of Mustache. And what happens? What does he do? He's in the slot. What does he do? He just rips it right through Koskinen for another game winner. Austin Matthews, another game winner, saved by the stash again. 3 times in 1 week.
Well, when you need it, you need it.
Calgary, Edmonton. Okay. Austin Mustache, game winner, set up the game winner, game winner. What else do you need to say? Saved by the stash.
Saved by the stash.
'Cause I'm saved by the... It's all right, 'cause I'm saved by the... It's all right, 'cause I'm saved by the...
Stash. All right, so moving on. Can I ask what the Babcock thing was?
Well, I happened to be like skimming through fucking some YouTube shit the other night. I don't know. I was watching like Leafs post-game stuff, and then I got into some other stuff. I ended up on like the NBC highlights. And like there's Babcock, and he's just magically there. And I don't know who the other guys on the panel are talking to him, but they're just giving him like, I don't know if you saw this interview. I'll try to find it and send it to you after this. But they're basically like, before he started like breaking down games and like X's and O's and shit, they were giving him kind of like, they wanted him. He did the Pierre LeBrun interview, and that was before he started with like doing the actual broadcast. This was like his first broadcast on NBC. and they're kind of asking him the similar questions. They're asking him about the Marner situation. They're asking him about the Johan Franzen situation. And he is just the way he's answering, like in the LeBron interview, you can't actually hear him speaking. You're just reading it. Here, this was the first time that I heard him open his fucking stupid mouth since he got fired by the Toronto Maple Leafs. They're kind of, the guys on NBC were kind of asking him the same questions, and he's skirting around the Marner issue, and he's skirting around the Johan Franzen issue. I was just hoping they would bring up Mike Commodore, but they didn't. And like, anyway, just the answers, I got to send it to you because I was watching it, and I literally was just like, his attitude is the exact same. The way he answers, he was answering the questions, Chad. Like, he's an analyst on a panel with 2 or 3 other dudes. He's answering the questions like he's doing a coaching media scrum after the game. Like, that's how it came across. He's not apologetic. He's not like, he's just such a fucking dick. I hate Mike Babcock. I can't fucking stand him. His arrogance and his fucking attitude. Oh my God. I want it. Watching this made me so fucking mad. It made me so fucking mad. Come out and own it, dude. Own it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. So how do you feel about Mike Babcock?
sorry, man.
Can I go off topic here for a sec?
Okay.
So the game's they've been playing in Calgary and Edmonton. And one thing I love about this is we get to see one of my favorite broadcasters, or he doesn't broadcast the games, but he works for Sportsnet.
I know you're talking about
Gene Principe. I love Gene Principe, and the curly hair. Like,
well, dude,
he's like the nicest dude.
I was going to say
he's the nicest dude.
Oh, he seems like a super nice dude. I'm pretty sure he's like one of the only dudes that's still rocking a perm. I'm pretty sure he's got a perm
rocking
going.
the perm. Gene Principe he's a legend. And you guys in the West are so lucky to have him night in and night out. Because not only is he friendly, not only is he a great broadcaster, but his hair says, maybe I've done a porn here and there. Like, maybe I have. I've definitely directed a few flicks. That's for sure.
Without a doubt.
So that brings us to the spot where we should take a commercial break and have a word from our sponsor. And then when we get back, we're going to hit the segment of Hot in the Slot and hit the showers.
Beautiful.
All right.
Segue.
Let's take a break.
Chad, what's the matter?
Well, Dale, I guess I've just been feeling a little down, because like I love podcasting, but I find there's something missing. There's got to be something else that I love other than just podcasting.
Chad, wipe those tears away. There's only 2 things I know how to do. I never get down. I love podcasts just as much as you. The second thing I love is porn, but not just any porn, specifically Brazzers.com.
Brazzers.com?
That's right, Brazzers.com.
What is it?
Take a little sneak peek at Brazzers.com. Why don't you bring it up right now?
I can't look at this on my computer. Is there any way I could watch it in private on my phone?
Absolutely. Privacy settings galore. Brazzers.com has all your pornography needs.
Well, this is great. I am so much happier now. Brazzers.com. Thanks, Dale.
You're welcome, Chad. Brazzers.com.
All right, so we're back. So I think we should take it to Hot in the Slot or hit the showers. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for Hot in the Slot or hit the showers.
He's so hot right now. All right, God damn it, let's hit the showers, God damn it.
So this week, who do you have for Hot in the Slot? I think we're both going to pick the same person.
Okay, last week we did 1, 2, 3, and it was the same guy. I think we should do it again because I guarantee it's the same fucking guy.
All right, let's do it. Ready?
Ready?
1,
2, 3 mustache.
Yeah.
Who else could it be,
It
man?
couldn't be anybody.
Who else could it
What did
be?
you say? Game winner, set up game winner, game winner.
And scored again tonight in a losing effort, but still. Yeah, game winner. Here's how his last 4 games have gone down. Game winner, set up the game winner, scored again tonight. Like, come on. It's this one's the easiest one you could possibly
Yeah, it's mustache.
could pick this one with my eyes closed. Hot in the slot. It's mustache.
Mustache. Austin, you are hot in the slot.
Okay, this
But
one's
that
gonna
brings
get,
us to hit the showers. And this is tough because
this one's gonna get a little tricky.
we're doing it for the week, and they actually played pretty good all week. 8 points, like we said. 2 wins in Calgary, 1-0-1 in Edmonton. So I'll let you go first. Who's going to
Okay.
hit the showers?
I could do a combination of dudes here. There's 2 guys I would go to, but because I went with one of them last week, I was going to do the same guy. Anyone who's listening last week would know. I'm not going to repeat it. I was going to go with the same guys last week. I've decided to switch it. Not impressed. Some phantom calls in the last game, penalty wise, but I'm sorry, man. If you're taking refs or no refs, if you're taking 3 calls in one game, putting your team behind by 6 minutes in one game, hit the showers, Alex Kerfoot. Not seeing enough out of that guy, Chad. Not seeing nearly enough. And hang on, one quick thing about Alex Kerfoot. What the fuck is this guy doing on the he replaced Joe Thornton on the first power play unit? What is this? What is this?
I don't know. The power play's clicking, though.
The power play has been dynamite, but he's nothing to do with him. They might as well just be playing 5-on-5 because they've got fucking Kerfoot out there as the extra guy.
I know
Like-
he's not doing anything. And actually, just to back you up, I also have chosen Alex Kerfoot as the guy to hit the showers this week. So we both pick mustaches hot in the slot, and then we both pick Kerfoot.
Hey man, great minds think alike. I think that's what they say.
Well, I looked at it, and out of everybody on the team, he's the one that pisses me off the most.
Yeah.
So he's got to hit the showers.
Like, what is he do? What is he doing? Really, I think the Leafs power play is probably the best power play in the league, to be honest. But, dude, like, okay. Okay. What is the thought process behind putting Kerfoot on that top unit? Explain that to me, please.
I honestly can't explain it to you.
But why do you think they're doing it, though?
I
Like-
guess because he's a semi decent passer. That's he's
Almost
semi.
there. Almost there.
Not quite fully.
Yeah, I guess. I'd put him on the
But-
softer side. Okay, do you think does this make any sense to you? Do you think they're doing it because they're like, Jesus Christ, man, this guy's making $3.5 million. He's got 2 years left on his contract. We got to try to get this fucking guy going or we are fucked. Do you think that's got anything to do with it?
It might have something to do with it.
Because is there not somebody? Okay, they signed Mikheyev to 2 years, a 2-year deal this year and next year. He's not been doing much either. But if you're trying to get Kerfoot going, okay,
Yeah, Kerfoot's making like 3 times what Mikheyev.
right. But they need to get Mikheyev going too. So who would you rather have Mikheyev up there or Kerfoot? I think I would pick Mikheyev personally.
I
Like,
don't
if
know
you're-
why
if-
Kerfoot's out there. Maybe he won't be out there for forever. Like I know when Thornton gets back, Thornton will take that spot. But during that time, maybe they're just doing it for now. And then if the power play goes cold, they change it up.
Even like I hate to say this because he hit the showers last week. VC, like maybe even VC, because like VC might have like a better shot than Kerfoot. I don't know. Okay, that third line in general, Kerfoot, VC, and Simmons right now. To me, it's just like Simmons is carrying that whole entire line. The other 2 guys, I'm not seeing anything from that line, anything at all. I would literally rather drop Kerfoot and VC to the 4th line. Put Spezza with Simmons.
So where do you want to go? Where do you want to take it to?
All right. I'll go a couple quick things. One is I am loving not having to listen to Jim Houston call any fucking games for the Toronto Maple Leafs. This guy decides to stay his ass in Vancouver because of COVID, which I respect. I have no problem with that. And I get it. Why don't you just keep it that way permanently? Go back to Vancouver, bud. My opinion, Chad.
Take her there.
I don't know where you're at on that, but that's where I'm
All
at.
right. So what was the next thing you wanted to get to? You got that out of your system?
Man,
What's
I've
the
been
next
on a couple rants, the Babcock thing, Jim. I'm fucking ranting. I don't know. It's been a good week. I don't know why I'm not even in a bad mood. Like, I'm in a good mood.
It's winter. It's cold. You
Okay.
said you had a couple things you had to get off
Yeah.
your chest. You got the
quickly.
Houston thing.
I don't know how we didn't catch this. Like when we were talking about tonight's game earlier, when we mentioned the retro jerseys, tonight, when they wore the retro jerseys, they switched up the assistant captains. Jake Muzzin and Zach Hyman, for the first time ever in a regular season game, were wearing the A's for the Toronto Maple Leafs. What is with that?
That's true. I did notice that tonight.
What's with that?
You were totally allowed to shuffle the A's around.
I didn't know that. I thought your captains were your captains, and that if somebody, their two assistant captains were in the lineup, not hurt.
Yeah, but why can't you move it around? Why can't
I don't know.
Tonight, Hyman and Muzzin are going to be the A's. Tomorrow, it's Riley and Matthews, and it's going to be
I don't know. It's just
Marner and Thornton. Like, I don't know. It can change.
I've never seen that before, though. Have you? Like, I've never seen that. If someone's injured and they give the A to somebody else for that game, sure. But when your two assistant captains are in the lineup and they put every time they're wearing the retros, it's going to be Zach and hey, Hyman and Muzzin would be my next guys to wear those letters, to be honest. Like, Hyman does deserve an A, and so does fucking Muzzin, especially Hyman, in my opinion. But like, I don't know. It just caught me a little. I'm like, okay, really? Like, so because they're wearing the retros, like, is that like a throwback to like, we're going to put the A's on like more old school type players?
No, I don't think it's that. I think it's just one of those things. They just changed it up a bit. I don't think it's a big deal. Like, I don't think the players really give a shit. Like, I don't think Matthews is like, well, I got to be an A every night.
I bet you if you're Hyman or Muzz, you appreciate. I bet, especially, I bet you appreciate that.
Exactly. That's why they do it. Like, there's nothing in the rule book that says once you pick an assistant captain, he is your assistant captain unless he's injured.
Like, I know where I would, if I was sitting in that room, like as a player like Zach Hyman, and like, you know, like I get, I'm playing with Mitch and Austin and Tavares and like Riley, like these guys are all better hockey players than me, but like I contribute what I contribute. If all of a sudden, like, I roll into the dressing room and Saturday night, hockey night in Canada, I've got an A on my sweater for the first time and I'm Zach Hyman, I would be like super fucking proud and excited about it. I'd be like, yeah.
And
like,
he played a great game.
Yeah. Like, we know, like, we love Zach Hyman on this podcast. No hiding that. But like, I just think if that was me personally, because of like, and I know how much Zach loves the Leafs and like how much we love the Leafs. If that was me personally, I would be like, I would just have a different feeling. I'd be like, this is awesome. Like, I'm wearing I wouldn't take it as just like, oh, they put an A on my sweater. No big deal, whatever. I would be
it probably means a lot to Zach Hyman.
Yeah.
To have that A on his sweater. And well-deserved. Well-deserved. He
Yeah,
should get it from time to time.
I don't know. I thought it was cool. Interesting. Definitely different.
Yeah, it was good.
Anyway, so yeah, we'll see how that plays out in the next. I don't even know when they wear them again, but hopefully, I don't know. They'll probably spread it out. But hopefully they spread it out nice and wide.
That's what she said? Like, do you mean spread it out nice and wide that Zach Hyman doesn't wear the A for
I was giving it to you on a T there, and you were just like, it took you forever to.
Well, I get it. I could see the grin on your face when you were talking about spread it nice and wide. You can spread the A's.
You can spread the A's if you want.
If they let you.
Difficult.
It's difficult to get them to accept spreading the A's, but if everyone's cool with it,
it's tough, man. If you find one of those, hang on tight.
Yeah. If you find someone who's willing to spread the A, just
that's a sign of a good leader right there.
That's a good team.
If you're like, hey, listen, you can spread the A all you want. Spread it left, spread it right, spread it all around. We can spread the ace. We can spread the ace to everybody.
Everybody.
Who wants it? Who wants an A? Who wants to spread? Who wants to spread the A?
Everybody on that team puts their hand up.
So there, I think Bogosian might be the next one in there. He might be the first one in there.
Wow.
Bogosian might be like, I want to spread the A.
He's definitely spread a few A's in his day. But anyway, moving on. What do you got?
Okay, so unless there's anywhere else you want to go, Chad, I guess we can end it on this. Is there anything else you want to say about, like, I mean, what? Like, we'll be back. They got 4 days off coming, right? I think.
We'll be back Saturday after the Vancouver game.
Yeah, so they play Vancouver 3 times in a row, but ultimately we won't wait until the Monday. We'll do next week at this time. We'll do another one. After this, they don't play till Thursday, and then they play Saturday. So
yeah,
after that second Vancouver game, we'll hopefully 2 wins, and we'll be back on here, right?
We will.
Anything else you want to say or go? I'll end it on something unless there's anything else.
No, take us.
Okay. Well,
take us home.
I think the Toronto Maple Leafs maybe just released yesterday or the day before a new episode of The Blueprint. Did you see it?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Haven't seen it. Okay. Highly recommend it.
Remember
the first one? We were talking about it, and like we were talking about how Sheldon was talking about before they even got on the ice, he was talking about Stanley Cup, and like it was like all business, like from the get-go. Remember we were talking about that?
Yep. Yeah,
Okay,
I ended up watching that. I hadn't seen it then, but I watched it.
Incredible.
So I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Really good. Really good. This one is even
He
better.
believes it. He believes it.
Oh, dude, this one is even better in my opinion. So it opens again with it's maybe like an 8-minute long episode, and Sheldon, you can see Malhotra there, and Paul McLean, like whatever, they're all there. Sheldon is like speaking. He's giving a speech. He's really laying it in about like everything that like. Man, he's everything that he is saying. You can, and the camera focuses on some of the players, and like it back to him and back to the players, and it's just really the way he is saying the things he's saying. It made me just watching it being like, if I was in that room, and I've heard guys before say like, you know, like we love playing for Sheldon. Like he's a great guy to play for. Like we want to show up and like play for him. Like you've heard that before, right?
Yeah, he's definitely a player's coach. Like the players like him.
Right, exactly. So like I'm watching the second episode of The Blueprint, and I'm just like, I'm listening to him speak, and the way he's like he's not. I remember when he first came in and they were still doing the basketball thing after like the Raptors won, and like he seemed kind of like, I'm taking over from Babcock. Like, I don't, I'm trying to find my way maybe a little with these guys, like a little tentative. To me, he didn't seem super comfortable. Here, he's like, you got Matthew sitting over here. Mitch is sitting over here. Freddie's sitting over here. Like Tavares over here. Bogosian, Muzzin, like all, like you name it, like a star-studded room. And he's just owning it. He's owning it. First year head coach. This is his first full season as a head coach in the NHL. And he is just owning the room. Like all eyes on me. The way he is saying it, like, do you know what I mean? Like some guys have a way of speaking. Like if Babcock was doing that, I would be like, I don't want to hear what this fucking guy is saying. I've heard, I don't want to.
If you watch the old blueprints, you can tell the guys are tuned out. They're looking at the floor. They're looking at the ceiling. They're tired. They were tired of it.
Oh, who wouldn't be? It just, I was so impressed by the first couple minutes of the episode. I was just like, man, like, how do these guys not want to like give it for this guy? Just, you got to watch it, man. It's incredible. Kudos to Sheldon Keefe. I'm a huge fan, and I just think I'm a huge fan of Sheldon. I'm a huge fan. I think he's the right guy for the job, and I wish nothing but success for him with this team. I think he is the right guy for the job. And, like, hey, man, Nick Nurse did it in his first full season. Why can't fucking Sheldon do it too?
Why not? Could happen. And on that note, let's bring this to a close. For the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast, don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast, on Twitter at the Tip In Podcast, email us at the tipinpodcast@gmail.com. Check us out on YouTube at the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast. Hit like and subscribe. Don't forget to check out our website, tipinsportsmedia.com. You can get all information on the podcast. You get all our YouTube clips. Anything you want is right there. You can order a t-shirt. You can leave a comment. You can sign up for an email list, and we'll blast out some tips into your box.
We'll blast it all over you.
Well, we love to blast. Love to blast. We don't do it a lot. We like to save it and then just do one
Massive blast.
one massive blast in your box, like where we let it all out. Leafs take on the Vancouver Canucks this week. Three games against Vancouver Canucks.
3 games in a row,
all in Toronto.
Wait a second, Chad. Are we going to hear Houston because fucking Vancouver's coming to town?
No, because he doesn't leave his house.
No, but is he going to call it from his wherever he's been calling it from?
No.
Oh, I'm scared now that
But you will hear him when the Leafs go to Vancouver.
Oh, no.
But this week you're off the hook.
Okay, good.
You're off the hook.
Okay.
So for the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast, I'm Chad.
I'm Dale.
We'll
see you next weekend, folks. Go Leafs, go, and we will catch